Hello and welcome to the final live stream of today's Discover LC. We're almost at the end of Tuesday, which some of us are very excited about, but some of us are really excited to just do this last one so we can share with you all the amazing information that the careers team have got to offer you. And so the careers team are joining us with the Advantages of Vocational Learning, a lovely PowerPoint and answers for Q&A questions. So any careers questions you have, make sure to start popping them in the comments, and then after the presentation we will answer those for you. So I'm going to bring them all in one by one because they are, the wonderful careers team and they deserve their own introductions. So starting off with our wonderful team, we have Sonia. Hiya, Sonia.
Hi, Ashton. I didn't realise I was going first. Oh my God.
We'll bring the best in first, Sonia, so we've got to get you in first, obviously.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We've just had some really lively sound effects, actually.
I know, we have got
here, lots of rain, so hopefully it won't interfere too much.
Yeah, any big crashes in the background, that's not just Sonia knocking things over, that is thunder. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do at the college and how the students might interact with you if they come in September?
Yeah, so I've been a careers advisor for a very long time, longer than I care to remember. But I think I started at the college, I think it was 2009, Ashton, if I remember rightly. And currently, I split my time between Abbey Park campus and St Margaret's campus. I really enjoyed the mix of the two campuses. Abbey Park is a lot of fairly academic qualifications, whereas at St Margaret's campus, my background is also in art and design and the creative industries. I worked in fashion for a while as well, so my background fitted in quite well at St Margaret's, which was one of the reasons that I was first placed there. So basically, my job involves meeting students face to face most of the time. Although at the minute, obviously, we're doing email guidance and phone calls as well. And I talk, they book an appointment with me and I will talk to them, about all manner of careers advice and guidance. And that could be perhaps people who don't speak much English, maybe they're newly arrived into the UK and they need advice about what courses they can start at Leicester College. And I could be also talking to current students at the college about university applications. So Katie, who you'll talk to in a minute, I basically assist Katie at the college to process the UCAS applications. So I will help students register with UCAS and help them complete their application forms, and then with Katie's help, then we'll send them to UCAS for processing. So any kind of higher education queries you can also talk to me about, as well as careers advice. But on a day-to-day basis, it can be anything from, as I said, providing course advice to people. It can be advising people about how to develop a CV as well, and also interview preparation. So we do a lot of mock interviews, and we also talk to students about apprenticeships and how you go about applying apprenticeships. The other part of my role, though, is that I do look after the careers team social media platforms. So I look after Twitter. We all have our own LinkedIn pages, so come and find us on LinkedIn, come and say hello. And we're under the Leicester College Instagram and Facebook platform, so you will see us fairly regularly on social media. So if you don't already do so, please follow Leicester College on social media and do follow us on Twitter. We're at LC Careers Team. I still have to remind myself what our tag is. It's only been a few years.
Amazing shameless plug there. Amazing.
I know. Oh, thanks. I hope I did that well. So basically, that's what I do, Ashton.
Fantastic. Well, speaking of Katie, let's say hello to Katie next. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Ashton. You all right?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. On a quite exciting Tuesday afternoon with the weather.
I know, lovely weather outside, definitely. Do you want to tell us a little bit about obviously HE that Sonia spoke about?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, obviously. So I'm Katie and I've been working at Leicester College coming 6 years this year now, actually, unbelievably. So and I came from a previous college where I also provided careers advice and guidance to really anybody of any age. So Sonia's kind of done a brilliant introduction there, really, kind of done my job for me. And obviously I do provide general careers advice to, again, anybody who comes into the college who wants a careers appointment and is looking to discuss their options and get guidance on that. Within the four college careers team, we all have our own specialisms. So yeah, so my kind of additional responsibility is as UCAS coordinator for the college. And what that really means is leading on all of our outgoing UCAS applications, so applying to university, to kind of higher level courses at colleges, which I'll talk about in my section of our presentation shortly. So it's coordinating that, which is quite a big task, really, as we have a good number of applications go from the college. We're a big college and we have a real variety of courses that progress to higher education, which is fantastic. So as Sonia said, with the help of Sonia, very much work very closely with Sonia with regards to that. Also the rest of the team, we do really provide what we hope is some really thorough support at the college to ensure that anybody who wishes to apply and progress on after a level 3 course, they can do, and they know who to come for support, and that's across all the 3 campuses. So that's kind of a big part of my role as well, but obviously I am a trained qualified careers advisor and can talk to students about lots of different options, not just university and higher level study. And just to add as well, so I'm a bit like Sonia, I kind of swap between 2 main campuses, which is Abbey Park campus and St Margaret's campus. So that's where students can find me. That's where, if anybody's coming into the college for a careers appointment, that's where they can come and meet with me normally, under normal circumstances. And yeah, I think that's hopefully a little introduction to me.
Yeah, pretty succinct, pretty good. And sort of the next person I want to introduce you to rounds off the sort of Leicester College sugar babes, I would say. And it is, of course, Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Oh my goodness. Hi. I'm the older version. Hi, Ashton.
Hi, yeah.
Okay, so a little bit about me. Well, my sort of background is design. My degree's in art and design, but I've worked as a careers advisor, fully qualified careers advisor, for about 14 years now, so working across further education, and I've been at Leicester College around about 8 years now. Gosh, that time's gone so quickly. Like Sonia and Katie and Safas, who you'll meet in a minute, provide a full range of advice and guidance services, as they've both mentioned, also supporting with UCAS applications, CV, interview techniques and so forth. I'm mainly based at Abbey Park and Freeman's Park campuses, 2 very different campuses. Sonia mentioned about Abbey Park, and Freeman's is more sort of the trade industries, hair and beauty and so forth. My specialism is supporting school education. So School Links coordinator. We do we do an awful lot of work with secondary schools in the city and county. Have a particular interest in labour market information, the future of work. So over the last 2 years, the careers team, we've been providing support in terms of those topics around the future of work and the way that the world of work is changing. And a few weeks ago we did a live stream all about that topic. We talk about the importance of social media in your online reputation, post 16 options and so forth. So between us and myself as coordinator, we love supporting our schools in the city and county. Yeah,
amazing. Pretty succinct there. And last but certainly not least is the man, the myth, the legend, Safras. Safras. He's laughing so much he's forgot to mute himself. He's so excited to start talking.
I think I got too excited when you said the man, the myth, the legend, because I kind of like that. Okay, so I've been a careers advisor for a long time. So over, I want to say 25 years now, and that's just not all I've been. So I've been an advisor. So I worked in schools. I've worked obviously in college. I've been an adult advisor. I'm a trained assessor. So I kind of teach and train people, obviously, for careers guidance. I think the other thing in terms of leading on different things, because everyone leads on different areas, I lead on employability. So what that means is that's things like, your CV guides, your researching employability guides, your interview technique booklets as well. I also lead on the comparability of qualifications. So if you've got qualifications from a different country, I want to know what they're worth in the UK. That's what I kind of get involved in as well. So there's a lot of that. And then recently, in the last couple of years, I've been writing for lots of magazines, taking it onto a sort of more national stage, and articles been published quite nationally. So I'm quite proud of that.
Nice. So they were like just a national. Nothing.
Yeah, just Google me, and I'm sure you'll find.
Right, well, we won't waste any more time, and I will let you start your presentation about vocational learning. So I'll hand back over to you again, Sarfraz.
Okay, thank you, Ashton. Okay, so this afternoon we're going to talk about vocational education, give you an overview of everything, well, you need to know about vocational education. So good afternoon, and welcome to our first Discover Leicester College live stream delivered by the careers team who you've just met. Today's session is all about vocational education, and in a moment I'm going to give you an overview of what vocational education is. Sonia is going to discuss the pros and cons of vocational education, and Katie will look at higher education progression, and finally Lisa's going to give some good advice, careers advice, on how to make a well-informed career decision. So let's kick off things by asking the question, what exactly is vocational education? Right, vocational education essentially prepares people to work in a trade or craft or technician or in sport roles in a wide range of professions such as motor vehicle, business, hair and beauty, health and social care, or construction, just to name a few. These are usually based in manual or practical activities and are traditionally non-academic but related to a specific trade or occupation. Vocational education can take place in a college, like Leicester College, for example, or through an apprenticeship. It is important to mention that it can also allow progression to university and higher education. Now, Katie will talk a lot more about that as well. Now, until recently, almost all vocational education took place in the classroom or in a job site, with students learning trade skills and trade theory through accredited lecturers and established professionals. However, online, vocational education has grown in popularity and made it easier than ever for students to learn a variety of trade skills from established professionals in the industry. Now, vocational program gives everyone the opportunity to gain real-life industry skills that they would be required in the world of work for whatever field you wish to enter in the future. It's not all about sitting in the classroom. It's about being hands-on. It's about getting work experience. It's about being educated by people who've actually worked in the industry to meet the needs of the industry as well. Now, a large number of Leicester College students go on to industry work-related placements, and they also get the opportunity to reach themselves with trips, guest speakers, coming in from industry talks and vocational experiences as well. And so they have that real industry input. They may also be eligible to get involved in Erasmus program, where they go to places like Seville in Spain for about 4 weeks of work experience. So, you know, perhaps if you're applying to Leicester College, find out if that's part of the course that you're studying for. Now, in placements, you'll obtain skills that are necessary and complement anything that you'll learn inside the classroom. Students get experience in a wide range of vocational areas. They provide you with real-life experience, but also give you a taste of the world of work as they've been developed by industry professionals. There's a wide variety of career options available to students, such as going into work or progressing onto apprenticeships. And every year, our level 3 students go on to university, and you'll get to hear a lot more about that with Katie in a moment. Okay, so there's lots of types of vocational courses out there, and I won't go through every single one, but I'm going to name a couple. For example, City and Guilds, VTCT, BTEC, T-levels, which will be introduced in the next few years. Now, vocational education is an opportunity to gain success in a job that demands you to be more hands-on and for people to find a passion and then to pursue that passion. It allows students to be engaging in training, but also in the world of work. Now, the engagement can be fun, and learning a new trade can be exciting, as you'll be learning practical skills that will enable you to earn a living for life. Now, the soft skills that you developed are sought after by employers as well as higher education. These include like organisation skills, communication skills, and teamwork skills, because you will have to work as part of a team in any vocational course. Students develop organisation skills, as there'll be quite a few assignments that you'll have to do as well. But it's important to manage your time well as a student and meeting deadlines. And you'll have to, obviously, you've got your coursework to do, but to manage the whole thing throughout the year. Okay, so finally, studying a vocational course allows you to study units that are transferable to other areas, including higher education, obviously apprenticeships and other forms of training as well, and increases your confidence. A vocational course can be enjoyable, and if you prefer being involved in a practical activity that's you're very, very much hands-on and you want to gain real life work experience, then obviously vocational education could really be for you. Now, this week we've got Discover LC. Now, please tune in to what we've got on offer as well, just to get a taste of what we've got available. But you can access all the course information on our website, which is www.leicestercollege.ac.uk. But also, why not visit our career resources link from the Leicester College Career Services page. Now, if you scroll right down to the bottom, it's actually there, and all the links, all the websites, and everything that we've talked about, not just in this live stream, but in the previous ones, are there. Okay, now it's over to Sonia, who's going to talk about the pros and cons of vocational education.
Thank you, Safraz. So we've been given an overview of the different types of vocational qualifications available. So now let's talk about the advantages and the disadvantages, and perhaps some of the factors you need to consider when deciding on whether or not to study for a vocational qualification. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these. So here's a table of the pros and cons of vocational learning. Now, we're going to start at the top with the pros and we're going to work our way down. Now, firstly, qualifications like BTECs, apprenticeship and T-levels are great for people who want a more hands-on approach than the traditional academic route. And this can be especially useful if you already know the industry that you want to move into. So, for example, if you know that you want to work in childcare, health and social care, or you want a career in art and design, then a BTEC, an apprenticeship, or a T-level could be better for your overall career progression because they combine practical learning with subject and theory content. Secondly, vocational courses also incorporate work experience. So some of the learning will take place in the workplace, which is going to give you the ability to apply new knowledge to real life situations straight away, as well as learning interpersonal skills through working in a team with colleagues. Now, this is unlike A-levels, which are a lot more academic and theoretical. Now, some of the BTEC health and social care students at Leicester College have undertaken work experience in residential care homes, for example, and also schools, and that's enabled them to gain and use really effective communication and problem-solving skills. That basically means that the work experience assists our students to develop the skills and knowledge that employers and universities want. In turn, this will increase their employability and the likelihood of them finding a job or progressing onto a degree at university after they complete their vocational qualification. Now, the third advantage is that vocational courses offer a subject-specific focus. And what I mean by that is that they focus on one subject entirely. So, for example, at Leicester College, we have courses in mechanical engineering and creative media, or you could start an apprenticeship, for example, in social media marketing. A subject-specific focus can help you to figure out what job you want to pursue in your chosen industry, and this is incredibly important as it will assist you to make informed decisions with regard to your future career direction. Now, fourth on the list of advantages is that vocational courses can be assessed in a variety of ways, rather than, say, the more traditional essay and exam method, which is favoured by academic courses like A-levels. The varying methods of assessment can include presentation delivery, written and practical assignments, research methods, some exams and observations as well. Now, the variety of assessment methods can be advantageous to students who prefer to be assessed differently and demonstrate their skills in other ways than purely exams. The options for vocational courses, which is 5th on our list of advantages, are much more varied now. They're no longer just for students who want to pursue careers in construction, plumbing and hairdressing. So, for example, at Leicester College, we offer BTEC courses for aspiring graphic designers, engineers, nurses, midwives, teachers, scientists, IT specialists and music producers that will help them towards fulfilling their future career goals. Now, we're also going to be offering a new BTEC in Creative Media Practice in Immersive Design and Development Level 3 from September 2020, which will marry together art, media and technology to give students the skills required for today's competitive job market. Now, finally, on the list of advantages is one of the most important benefits of vocational learning. As Safrad said, they equip students with essential transferable skills which they can apply at university, in the workplace and generally throughout their lives. Now, because of the work experience opportunities and the variety of assessment methods used in vocational qualifications, students will learn the skills of resilience, teamwork, personal motivation, analytical skills, organisation and time management, to name a few. So those are just some of the advantages of vocational learning. Now, there are some considerations that you do have to factor in when making a decision about whether or not to study for a vocational qualification. So let's have a look at the cons on the right-hand side. Now, firstly, there can be a risk of some vocational qualifications being viewed as non-academic by a few universities and employers. And qualifications like apprenticeships and the upcoming T-levels, which will be offered at Leicester College from September 2021, are highly demanding because of the combination of both working and learning at the same time. You will need to be extremely organised and very committed for this type of learning. The other consideration is that vocational qualifications are not available in traditional academic subjects like English and psychology. So at Leicester College, they're offered in vocational professions ranging from childcare to engineering and beyond that. Finally, remember that some vocational qualifications are not suitable for specific careers. For example, if you want to become a hospital doctor in the future, a level 3 BTEC in dance is not going to be suitable for this career route. So I hope that's given you an overview of the pros and cons of vocational learning and that it helps you to make an informed decision about your own education and career choices. I'm now going to hand over to Katie, who is going to discuss higher education progression from a BTEC.
That's great. Thanks ever so much, Sonia. So I'm going to focus on now answering the question whether you can apply and progress to higher education study, higher level study from a BTEC. So at Leicester College, students who wish to progress on to higher education are really well supported to ensure they have all the information about their higher education options to make that well-informed decision. Higher education study can be a really positive experience, and some people benefit hugely from deciding to continue their studies at a higher level, whilst also helping them to develop personally, professionally and socially. One of the questions as a careers team we most often get asked is whether you can progress to higher education with a BTEC, and the answer is yes. To be considered for higher education from a vocational course, typically a 2-year level 3 BTEC extended diploma is the recommended qualification for entry, which is equivalent to 3 A-levels. There are alternative qualifications that will also obviously get you to university as well. These qualifications are well regarded by universities, further education colleges and employers. So most universities and colleges in the UK accept BTEC students, including some competitive universities. As we've heard, BTEC students are well prepared in terms of the independent studying that's required at degree level due to the portfolio-based nature of BTEC courses. The time management and self-organisation you develop on a BTEC course can also give you that added edge. So at Leicester College, We regularly have over 500 students actually progress onto a range of university level courses at various providers across the UK. The majority of our students do progress onto the first year of a degree programme. So it's really important to research as early as possible what those entry requirements are for university courses you might be interested in. It's a really good idea to get in touch with the university or college directly if you're just unsure of their BTEC entry criteria, as this can vary from one course to the next. Again, as you've heard, BTEC students do have that experience of real life practical tasks and work placements. So again, for example, for a student studying a subject such as health and social care, the significant work placements you'll undertake in a variety of healthcare settings make for really strong and well-rounded applications to courses such as nursing, social work, or more broad health and social care degrees. Okay, so as you can see from this first slide, just to understand the term higher education, and what that refers to is any qualifications you can study above level 3. So this would include a complete level 6 bachelor's degree, foundation degrees, higher national diplomas and certificates, as well as higher and degree apprenticeships, which I will cover in a bit more detail shortly. So HNDs and HNCs are vocational qualifications offered on both a part-time and full-time basis. When studied on a full-time basis, they typically take 2 years to complete and are often taught in a college setting. So having completed a HND, you can apply to then top up your qualification by entering the final year of a degree course to achieve a full level 6 bachelor's degree. Similarly there, as you can see on the chart, with foundation degrees, these are work-related level 5 courses, offered both full-time and part-time, at some universities, but often again delivered in a further education setting. They also offer the option of topping up your qualification to degree level. Now, Leicester College offer a range of higher education courses from level 4 to level 6, so you can continue your studies after level 3 at Leicester College. So please do check these out on our website if this is something you're interested in. And Ashton's kindly flashed up the link there to the HE courses on our website. So just coming on to talk a little bit about higher and degree apprenticeships now. And now these have really increased in popularity and availability over the last few years. They're predicted to continue to grow year on year, and we get a lot of queries about this when students are really wondering whether they progress onto university or do I do an apprenticeship. So roles such as cybersecurity analyst, police constable, nurse associate and chartered manager are just some of the exciting higher and degree apprenticeships that are available. With higher and degree apprenticeships, you work full-time and study part-time alongside your job. You will receive a salary, paid holidays, pension and sickness benefits. Your tuition fees, so that £9,250 a year, will be paid by the company you're working for, and you'll get a degree or a HNC, HND from a university who has partnered with your employer. So as these apprenticeships are still relatively new, they are sometimes not available either where you live or in the sector you're looking for. It's a really good idea to point out here that there's certainly not an easier option to a degree and are highly competitive. So it's a good idea to apply to university perhaps at the same time as you're looking for a higher or degree apprenticeship. So you have that plan A and a plan B. So just to highlight some of those key differences when considering between a higher and degree apprenticeship versus a traditional degree route, the table that you can see now on your screen shows some of the factors you may wish to consider. So as I've already mentioned, that top one there, an apprenticeship will require you to work full-time, Monday to Friday typically, whereas the majority of degree courses will have fewer days and contact hours when you would be expected to attend lectures, seminars, etc. Nursing and teaching degrees, however, are a couple of exceptions to that rule. Both of these routes, though, require independent study. However, with a higher or a degree apprenticeship, your time management and organisation must be excellent, as you are juggling your studying alongside that full-time job. Remember, with the apprenticeship route, your employer is paying the tuition fees of the degree, so you have no student loan fees to pay. As you can obviously understand, that's a huge investment in you by the employer, and an apprentice therefore is treated the same as any other employee in that company. So you do have to be fully ready and committed to join the world of work. Unlike applying for a traditional higher education course through UCAS, higher and degree apprenticeships are full-time jobs. So there's an individual application process to ensure the successful applicant meets their specific requirements. Because of this, vacancies are not just advertised in one place, and there's no fixed cycle for degree apprenticeship applications. So again, for more information about higher and degree apprenticeships, you can visit the government website as shown at the link at the bottom of this slide, and the UCAS website has lots of useful information too. So I really wanted to demonstrate the variety of higher education courses which students who study vocational courses at Leicester College progress onto. Every year it's always fascinating and inspiring to see where our students go. Now, this is just a snapshot of the range of courses that can be accessed at degree level from a level 3 BTEC extended diploma, and only from a selection of our BTEC courses. I couldn't include them all. So from health and social care, as you can see, we regularly have students go on to study degrees such as social work, mental health nursing, as well as the other nursing disciplines such as adult and child nursing, as well as learning disabilities. We've got psychology in there, we've got midwifery, paramedic science, education studies and occupational therapy. From our applied science extended diploma, we've had students progress onto a real diverse range of degrees, which as you can see include marine biology, forensic science, biomedical science, physiotherapy, diagnostic radiography and optometry. Okay, so from our business BTEC, again, we have many students who decide to progress onto higher level study. And as you can see there, ranging of degrees from accounting and finance to business management to fashion marketing, economics, international relations, law and marketing. And finally, our creative art and design level 3 course has seen students progress onto so many different creative courses in art and design, in fine art, architecture, graphic design, interior design, fashion design, footwear, and artistic makeup and special effects. So I do hope that gives you a really good insight into the range of higher level courses you can progress onto from some of our level 3 BTEC courses. However, not forgetting the fantastic opportunities to progress to higher education from some of our more typically vocational qualifications. So for example, we've had students progress onto hospitality management, culinary arts management and food development and innovation from our level 3 professional chefs advanced diploma. And from level 3 bakery, we've had students go on to study degree level courses, including bakery and patisserie technology. So some fascinating courses. From level 3 hairdressing, you could progress to something like specialist hair and media makeup. From level 3 beauty, you could consider higher level courses such as beauty therapy management or spa management. And then from our level 3 theatrical special effects, hair and media makeup, we've had students go on to study production media makeup, special effects makeup artistry, and media makeup for fashion. So as you can hopefully see, a really diverse and interesting range of higher level courses are available, which can be successfully accessed from studying a level 3 vocational course. So I hope you agree. This goes to show you can certainly progress to higher education with a BTEC. So thank you for listening to my section. I'm now going to hand over to Lisa, who is going to discuss how to make a well-informed decision.
Okay, that's great, Katie. Thank you very much. Okay, so we hope that today's session has been really useful and that you now have a good understanding of the benefits to vocational learning. Of course, vocational learning is one of a number of options that you may well be considering right now. But with so much choice at your fingertips, how do you make a well-informed decision that you're happy with and will stick to? It's quite common to feel unsure about your next steps. In fact, few people really know what they want to do after finishing secondary school. And did you know that it's considered normal for us to expect to make multiple career decisions throughout our working lives? So the first point here is don't panic. You're not alone. Okay, but with good career planning, by really taking your time to know yourself, your likes, dislikes, strengths and weaknesses, by exploring your options and being inquisitive, by speaking to people around you who you can trust, you're more likely to be able to reach a decision that is right for you. I mean, after all, would you go out on a major journey with no real idea of your destination? You certainly wouldn't do that. So yeah, so it's really important to think carefully about that. So how can you reach a decision that you feel confident with? Well, a good starting point is to reflect back on decisions that you've made in the past. So for example, you might have chosen to do something based on pure chance, to sit back or go with the flow. You may have been influenced by the opinions of family, friends, or other important people or circumstances in your life. You might have taken your time and undertaken lots of research. Whichever approach you took, think to yourself and be honest with this: did this really work for you? If not, why not? And what would you do differently next time? Of course, options are great, but deciding which one to choose can often be the dilemma. So to make the right choice, you'll have to think about what factors most important to you. So for example, is it a particular style of learning that suits you best? Are you more creative than scientific, or is it a combination of the two? If you enjoy a particular subject, break it down to establish exactly what it is you enjoy about the subject and why. And once you've thought about your options rationally, look at them from an emotional perspective and what your emotions are telling you. How well does your option fit with your inner feelings, your gut instinct? So in other words, a balance of your head and your heart. And deep down, you will know what makes you tick, what gets you excited. But remember, the decision you make has to be yours and not somebody else's. Okay, so once you've narrowed down your choices, ask yourself, do I feel positive about the choice I've made? And does it feel right? Does this choice further my career ambitions? If something doesn't feel right, then you need to understand why. So take the time to make sure that you're confident that you've made the right decision. And remember, a good decision is always an informed decision. Okay, so finally, I'd like to share with you a few suggestions and techniques to help you with your decision making. Let's start with the don'ts. So as you can see on the slide from the right hand side of the table, you'll see a basic list of don'ts. And firstly, the thing to think about is don't ask other people to make a decision for you. Remember, this is your future, not theirs. Okay, another tip, don't choose something because your friends are doing it. Remember, you are an individual with your own personality, got your own likes and dislikes. Avoid flipping a coin to decide or rushing into a decision without thinking it through. Also, avoid listening to rumours. Now, everybody has an opinion, but is their opinion based on facts? So always aim to get the facts. But above all, don't panic. So just take your time. If you do make the wrong choice, it's not the end of the world. So nobody is perfect. Just grow and learn from it. Okay, so now let's look at the positive steps that you can take instead. So the do's. So from the left-hand column, why not try the pros and cons approach? So in other words, write down the advantages and disadvantages of your options. For example, comparing A levels with a BTEC, or one subject with another, or a degree apprenticeship with a full-time higher education course. Look beyond the headlines of your options and really break down and analyse the choices available to you one by one. Choosing an option that you're good at and enjoy really means that you're more likely to succeed. Okay, so, and also, if you're unsure, why not watch our live stream on researching careers on the Leicester College YouTube channel? It's packed full of useful suggestions. Or you could try a personality test or a career matching quiz on websites such as Career Pilot, National Career Service, or QDOS. Visualizing is another idea. So visualizing what your option might look like is another technique. So try imagining what your course, what the apprenticeship or career would be like. What would you be doing? What would you be learning? Where might you be based? Can you imagine your future self? Where would you like to be in 5 years' time? What would you like to be doing? Talk with family and people who you trust about your options. And if you can, it's always a great idea to speak to a careers advisor who is impartial and can offer you individual help with your decisions. Now, the careers team at Leicester College is still available remotely. We're working to support you with your ideas, plans and questions. And our contact details can be found on the Leicester College website under the career service, as Saf has mentioned earlier. So finally, do make sure you have a backup plan just in case your first choice doesn't work out. Okay, so you've done your research. You should now be feeling confident to act upon your decision. So time's to go for it. Okay, So we hope the session has been useful, it's been informative, and thank you for listening. So I'm going to hand back to Ashton now, who may have some questions for us from the viewers.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lee. So let me add everyone else back so we can get all their lovely faces back. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for that wonderful presentation. It was really informative, and I hope that the viewers at home can appreciate all that facts. I know it's a lot of information to take in, but you can come back and watch us a couple of times to really soak in all the information. And we have had a couple of questions while you're doing, so I'll start with those ones, and then we'll see what happens. So Megan on YouTube has said, is it still possible to access the paramedic science course in university when taking applied science in college? So I assume Lisa's probably the best one to, Katie, sorry, is the best one to answer this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, Megan. Thanks for your question. Yeah, absolutely. Paramedic science course in university, the applied science course is a really well-respected course. You might just want to just check with particular universities that you're looking to apply for. Again, some may specify they want it in a health-related subject, but in terms of what you've covered on that applied science course, there's absolutely no reason why that shouldn't be taken into consideration. So as I've said, it's not one hard and fast rule. It's always best to check with individual universities, but we have had students progress to paramedic science degrees from the applied science course. So absolutely, just check the entry requirements.
Research is always obviously one of the most important things you can do in terms of what's going to happen next. So definitely have a look at the universities.
Yeah, and I'd just like to sort of add to that. I mean, that's exactly right, isn't it? But also, it's, you know, if you can get some work experience, it's something that really is valued by universities. So, you know, example of, you know, working with St John's Ambulance, doing some voluntary work, something like that, really does add value to your personal statement. You can really sort of really showcase the skills that you've gained, all those transferable skills, as well as the academic knowledge that you're gaining from the course itself. So yeah, just to really sort of add to work experience.
Fab, thank you. So another question I have, it's sort of a little bit of a generic one, maybe some tips, just a quick fire tips from you all. How do I develop a CV? So obviously a CV is really important when it comes to applying for jobs and applying for college. So what are your big tips?
Yeah, I can take that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we can all contribute to that, can't we? The first thing, I mean, there's lots of ways of doing a CV, but you know, I would say stick to one or two sides. So don't go overboard and write too much. You've got to remember as well that the employer doesn't have a huge amount of time to kind of read a lot of information. So you've got to go straight to the point. And I would say also have a look at our guide to writing a CV. So it's called the Student's Guide to Developing a CV, and you can actually Google it, Leicester College, Student Guide to Developing a CV, and in the middle of that there's a template. It's a good starting point, and you can actually look at some examples of CVs as well to just get an idea of what a CV is all about. But I would say don't make it too long. 2 sides is like the max. Use clear headings, nice bullet points. Don't just kind of, I mean, you need to write about yourself, so don't copy other people's work. But yeah, it's a work in progress, but that's just some ideas for that.
I would also say as well, I think it's really important, and I still do this, read the job description, read what you want to apply for, and then try and incorporate some of the skills that's mentioned in that job description into your CV. So if they're asking for skills like organisation and time management, you know, or for example, of your creative skill set, try and provide examples in your CV. So you can bullet point them, you can add a skills section if you like, and you can provide examples to actually back up your skills. So you're not just saying that you can do something, you're actually proving that you can do something as well. But I often, you know, when I'm helping students with creating a CV, the first thing we'll look at is themselves, because you've got, you know, your CV is your selling tool. So you've got to know yourself, so you've got to know your skill set. And most of our appointment will involve just helping students to pull out those skills. So if you can write down, make a list of the things that you're good at, and then next to them, write down examples of when you actually demonstrated those skills. It can be any situation, and then try and incorporate that into your CV. And it just makes that document a lot more credible.
Fab, thank you. Any other tips from Katie or Lisa? Or
I completely agree with what Sonia and Saf said. I'd just totally advise a professional email address for a start, because again, we all make email addresses when we're younger, and that is kind of a first impression, because a CV is that first impression, isn't it, on the employer, whoever you're applying for. So yeah, professional email address is really important. We see that a lot, and also just spelling and grammar. Again, it's not always your bag, and just make sure you get someone to check over that CV for you, just to ensure it's looking as good as it can for you. So again, it's that first impression thing, really. Again, attention to detail, before hopefully you can kind of get to see them in person and impress.
Yeah. Amazing. I remember my dad didn't let me set up an email account that was silly. He was like, no, it's got to have your full name in it and nothing else.
And the same goes for university applications as well,
Yeah. First impressions.
I will just say, I mean, just going, thinking of in the future a little bit more as well. I mean, if you really, really want to make an impression with employers, if you're feeling confident and you're of a certain age group, so probably 18 plus, we talk to our level 3 students about creating a digital CV. Now you can use obviously platforms like LinkedIn to do that, but I think digital CVs, they really help you to connect with employers. So you can network directly with employers. And I know that this is, these are very strange times. Perhaps there's not the breadth of jobs out there right now. So you need to make people you need to make them notice you. You need to let them know who you are and that you exist. But a digital CV can help you do that. And they're quite visual as well. As I said, we're all on LinkedIn, and we regularly use LinkedIn to create blogs. So we write blogs, but we can upload photos, you can upload videos and various other multimedia. So again, you're not just saying that you've got certain skills, you're actually proving and demonstrating to employers that you have examples of these skills, and again, it makes that digital CV a lot more credible. But it can definitely help your overall employability. If you take that one step further, if you're feeling extremely confident, you can have a go at creating a video CV as well. Not for the faint-hearted. We've not done it yet, any of the careers advisors. Maybe that's next. But that's also a really, really useful tool to help you get noticed as well.
Yeah. And you can put your link into your personal details. So if you've written a blog and you want to ensure that employers get to look at your works, under the personal details where you put your email address, you could put a link there to your to where you've posted your work, so they could have a look directly at that. But my recommendation as well is always, I think it's a stronger CV if it's targeted. So don't have a blanket CV that you send out to all kinds of employers, different jobs. It just gets lost. It doesn't have that personal touch to it. It doesn't get across the skills that Sonia was talking about. So targeted CV is really, I think, is a good idea.
Fab. And what's everyone's opinions on using the font Comic Sans? Is that like a good thing, or is that a no?
No.
Right, okay. I should go update my CV then.
You need to, Ashton. I was told at school, never ever use that font. So I've avoided it since then. I'm a good girl, I listen. So
I mean, the thing is, it's all about, like everyone's talking about, it's the first impressions. It's like you introducing yourself to an employer, and you've got to think, well, what's this employer thinking of me? If I'm using Comic Sans, it's a bit comical, it's a bit jokey, it's a bit childish, and I want to be taken seriously. So, what I would say to add on to what everyone says, you can have a look at some examples. That's quite good to get an idea. You can even ask people to look at your CV. Just be careful who you ask, because everyone's got an opinion. Choose a professional. and just get some ideas and just someone to look over your CV, just for, because you won't, you sometimes you miss out things like spelling and grammar and things like that. I mean, a video CV, some great examples of video CVs are on YouTube. So you can have, in lockdown, why don't you update your CV? Maybe look at getting a LinkedIn profile, and maybe even, look at some examples of video CVs from YouTube.
Amazing. Right, well, on that note, I think maybe we should wrap it up because we have been talking for a very long time, and I know that everyone would like to go and get a coffee and maybe probably have a nap. So we'll wrap that up now. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Could you just tell us one more time what the best way to get in contact with you guys is, just in case anyone watching would like to get in contact with you?
Yeah, so
Go, Lisa.
No, it's okay. So through the college, email address is careersadvisors@leicestercollege.ac.uk. You can drop us an email. On the Leicester College Careers team section of the front of the page, there are telephone numbers as well that you can get in contact with us. So we are speaking to people remotely through telephone, through email, and through video guidance as well.
And do those students have to be current students of Leicester College, or can they be incoming, just want to find out some information?
Everybody. Yeah.
Right.
Everybody's
Amazing.
welcome.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for joining me, guys. I know you are. I already knew that, so But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me. It's been fantastic and very informative. Katie and Sonia will be back on Friday with another sort of careers, frequently asked questions Q&A session. So do come along to that if you've got some more questions. We'll be back tomorrow morning, bright and earlier at 10 a.m. with fashion and footwear. So do join me for that one as well. And we've got lots and lots of things coming up. So you want to see the full schedule, head on over to the website and you'll see the full schedule for the rest of Discover LC. But for now, we will say our goodbyes and we will head off and finish the last day of Discover LC. So thanks very much, guys, and we'll see you soon.
Oh, bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.